Actually, I'm currently in Shanghai, and today I'm going to share uh, something about Alibaba.com. And so if you guys have questions, in the end, we're going to give you some time to ask any questions that you have. Okay, let me share my PowerPoint. Uh, ta-da. Share my screen. Okay, so today we're gonna spend 1 hour. I'm gonna control the time. So 1 hour time, and to give you a brief understanding of our background and also a brief introduction about Alibaba.com and its back end, how we manage and run this system, and how to sell things on it. So, but just some heads up, we're gonna have like a series of lectures and the webinars. We talk about the details of each section of Alibaba. So today we are not gonna cover every detail, but we're gonna cover the main themes and the main topics. Okay, so let's start. And then 4 parts of today. So me and Alibaba, little story about myself and our story with Alibaba. And then the second part is going to be we're going to introduce e-commerce logic a little bit because that's going to be the very basic understanding and the fundamental concept of Alibaba. And once we know the logic behind it, and then it becomes easier for us to understand Alibaba.com. And then the third part, then we're going to go to Alibaba.com, and I'm going to share the screen of how we see the accounts and how we do things with it. So that'll be a live actions. And then the last part, I'm going to share some tips and very quick tips about what we suggest you guys to utilize Alibaba.com and then make the best out of it. So that's going to be for today. All right. Section one, me, I'm Alibaba. So that's the photo I took with at Alibaba headquarters, one of the headquarters in Shanghai. That was years ago. And then so my background, so my name is Ling Chen. That's my English name. Chinese name is Ling Chen, similar. And I graduated from the US in Michigan State, and I learned in education, and I went to Harvard to learn a semester. And also, I'm a visiting professor for 2 universities in Shanghai, certified teacher in the US, and I'm a serious, like a serial startup kind of like entrepreneur. So I tried several businesses, made some money and lost some money. So learned a lot of things. And the business owner, and also now I'm Alibaba business coach, but also I run three shops currently, and we're gonna extend it to 5 shops by the end of this month. That's basically about myself. But if you noticed, I have never done business like exporting or products before. So about 4 years ago, when I just started doing the international trading, everything I learned was from Alibaba, and I was using just the only Alibaba.com as my platform to sell things to the world outside of China. And that kept several years. So from last year, we started our I learned how to build websites and other platforms kind of things. But so just to pretty short, I started everything with trading with Alibaba. And that was the story before I joined, started Alibaba business, my other teams. So I had a very good chance. I traveled to 40 plus countries, but I never did business back then. So that was a sad story. I would use that chance to sell more things. And those are the certificates I earned. And one of them was from all of them are from the US, and also my diploma kind of things, just to prove I got education there and everything's real. And then our company, so how we call the Link Show, that's in Chinese, and then we registered in 2020, and then we started business almost 4 years, several weeks, several months from 4 years, and we started with those home decor, rattan goods, and we sold several of those to supermarkets in Middle East countries too, and everything we started there. Well, we have some questions. Okay, so yeah, I'll just keep going, and if the questions just leave there, I will just give you time to. I will save some time for the Q&A section. Okay, so and then when we started, we didn't know what products to sell. That was one of the questions we had, and then we based on the data and also recommendations. So we started with all the goods. So it was kind of a random guess, and then once we had more experience about selling and the products and learning more about audience, we're upgrading. So we're selling different products later. So at the beginning point, all those things, selling only on Alibaba, and we made a decision to do B2B business because we have learned that B2C is quite different. And even until today, we're still focused on B2B. And that's why Alibaba is all about. This is okay. All right. And then also, since we started from zero, and that's the bar chart we made when we analyzed all the data we had for the complete first year. So the blue part is about inquiries increase, and also the other one is about our GMV. And you can see that for the first year, that was you can just divide it by the two sections, the upper year and the down year. So the first half and the second half. And the first half we barely made money. We're just starting the business. So we made a sum up. We call it first year, we have to have like a learning curve, which is we believe 6 months to begin with. And also we're learning the rules about everything and learning all the ads and using and how we sell things and all the systems and all the routines. But all in all, it's growing rapidly. So that's why we've been noticed by Alibaba company. And so they asked us, they said, how did you run the business? How did you get it growing? And so we told them what we did. And they said, would you like to share those with other sellers? Which is sure. So that's how we became a lecturer at Alibaba. And then I've been doing the lectures for several years now and I met tons of suppliers and sellers, which is a very good source for us to pick new products and learn more about different industries and products, which is very good resource. So later I will cover this again. So using Alibaba not just as a tool for selling things, but it's also kind of a good community and a resource for you for a lot of things. And then that's our profit, like a gross profit margin growth. At the beginning, we barely make money because we just want to sell things. And we didn't even know if it's going to be successful. So we didn't have any skills of selling. We did not know how to communicate with clients. But once we are more experienced and once we had more inquiries, so we're going to pick and choose which clients that we prefer to serve. Some clients probably we call them like not our clients. So then once we were able to choose clients, and then we have more capability of like making decisions on the pricing and how much we want to sell them, and because we don't worry about losing clients. So that took some time. And then by the end of the first year, we extended to 3 shops. So from home goods into sports goods and also goggles, swimming, diving, and all the products too. And from monthly, our GMV from like thousands of US dollars to hundreds of US dollars. And now we're still growing. Like I said, we're going to extend it to 5 shops. That was the first year, just a rough understanding of what we did and how we became like today. And now this is a fun thing. So from last year, we noticed that like construction is one of the things that we're going to focus on. So from last year, we start selling those modular buildings and to US and Australia and other places, and also prefabricated houses, which becomes a very popular things worldwide. And so we're focusing on this. So we have a new shop, and that's just doing this. And also modular building, and it saves time and also labor. So this is a good thing to notice because once we are get involved in the trading business, once we know more people, once we know more needs from the market, we are having more ideas of what to do next step. So we start from selling those like baskets, and then now we're selling houses and even buildings. So that's pretty incredible. So we're growing with Alibaba, and those we hired engineers, and also we partnered. We had a joint venture with other construction companies. So but starting small, and now we're becoming what we are right now. Okay. And also personal growth with Alibaba is another thing worth talking about, is that with Alibaba, our shop's growing, but myself from an amateur and then becomes an expert. And also right now we're doing business coach. So we're doing competitions and we give lectures and we're on the stage telling them what we do. And also we got some fame and we got some like very good confidence, which is another thing that we can gain with Alibaba. So I've done more than 100 lectures and influenced more than 2,000 business owners. So a lot of business friends, which is another good thing. Yeah, yeah. Without that, probably I'm not able to do construction or other business. So yeah, that's all about me, my first year, and all the business opportunities we got from them. And the second part, we're going to talk about the e-commerce logic, and probably some of you guys are already expert, or maybe you're very familiar with this, but I'm going to mention this again, just to get ready for the next section. Uh, when we think about doing business, it's basically about selling things, right? But the question is how. We use internet, we e-commerce, we use all the technologies, but the core value, the core concept of the whole thing is still about the selling things. Now I want you to think this way. Forget about internet, just like selling things local. Imagine uh, in your own country or in your own area, when you want to start a business selling things, products, what would you do and where and how? That's what you're going to do it. See if you can picture this. And I give you like a few seconds to do this. Uh, yeah. And okay, so what we do and what I can think of is that I'm going to think about starting a shop somewhere, usually at a shopping mall, right? We want to say, hey, okay, we're going to think about like when we sell, for example, clothes, so shoes, all the things. So we want to first have a shop. Otherwise, no, I don't know where to sell things. On the street, policemen might arrest me for doing all the nonsense things. So we're gonna find a legal place, and that I can showcase my products and list all the products, and have a room or places that I can meet our clients, talk to them, and make advertisements and all the things, right? So shopping mall is a very easy to understand concept. So, okay, sounds easy, but there are a few things that's going to be involved in the whole process. Number one, which shopping mall? There are several shopping malls in the city, in the area. Do you choose the closest one, or do you choose the busiest one, or do you choose the largest one? Depends, right? So location, which platform? It's like platform, which one you're gonna choose? That's question one. And question two, once you choose the shopping mall, and you're gonna look at the picture. So which store, which location in the mall that you're going to choose, right? On the first floor, fifth floor, at the entrance, or in the very bottom of the walking hall, and where do you want to locate it? Okay, because that might affect the price of the rent, right? And also, how big you want the store to be, super large or tiny or just a booth, or do you want it to be and do you want it to be look very simple or complicated, or do you want to like have a very fancy decoration and all those things about shopping, about your shops, right? And also, do you want to do ads? Otherwise, once you have a shop, and what products you want to list in your shops, because you have very limited place, right? And also, once everything's done here, and you're going to think about, well, even though there are many clients or people walking towards a shore or towards a mall, will they come to my shop? And then so that involves advertisements. So do you want to pay to let the shopping mall put the super big logo or super cool picture of someone wearing your clothes, that the brands of your clothes, and on the outside wall of the shopping mall and on the streets? So that's ads. Or do you want to hire some salesperson and walking on the streets, giving out flyers to tell them there's a super nice shop in the shopping mall that you was going and pick clothes? So that's all about marketing and ads, right? And you're going to consider that. And also, you're going to consider once people come into your shop, what's going to be next. So would you have some salesperson walk up to them and talk to them and welcome them, make a big smile on the face, and let them be happy and willing to look at the clothes and choose the one they like. And then once they choose the one they like, you're going to manage all the process, like how they swipe their cards. Do they pay you cash? Can you give them change back? And all the process, even though you're going to consider, would you like to have a warehouse and like a and all the things. And also every day when you finished all the work, I know when the shopping mall is closed, and you're going to look at you're going to take out your calculator and look at, okay, how many clothes did you sold today? And okay, so compared to last month, compared to yesterday, is it growing or is it going down? Is business going better, or what went wrong, what you can improve, how much money you made already, and how much money you want to make next day? So that's all about management. So all the sections, if you can think of, it's all about the business. And also, all the sections are going to be involved for your Alibaba.com. So once we had this concept, and then when we look back and look at the Alibaba.com, and then we know how to run this online shop. The only difference is online. Okay, everything I just mentioned, you're going to see them on Alibaba. And then once we take a further step, and if we go further and we use more professional ways to describe the things and the process of purchasing, it's going to be like this formula. If I've done e-commerce on other platform or other places, and you might be familiar with this, but there are a few professional words, terms, terminology, jargons I want you guys to know once you starting doing business online, because they're going to be everywhere. So look at this slide, and we have that shop. Okay, everything's done. So I would assume that you already found a shopping mall that you like, that you believe that's going to bring you good business, and then you pay the shopping mall to get your shop there. So usually I don't mention this, but I can say this here, is that I've done my research before I started this business, and then I found Alibaba is so-called, we call it largest one, because we're going to look at the numbers of visitors and also its scale and also its functions and everything involved. In our perspective, from our perspective, we think they are the biggest. Okay, so there are some other platforms came to us and they tried to let us open shop there, but we made a comparison, so we think this is the place we want to sell things. And actually, we are still here today. Okay, so Alibaba is where we want to open our shop. Once we have the shop, and we're going to consider, we call it UV, because on some e-commerce platform, you're going to see those like their initials, the shortened forms, like a UV that represent the unique visitors. So with all those, you know, like how many people, clients came to your shop, right? And then we're going to consider conversion rates. So they're visiting your shop doesn't mean they're buying. So we consider that once we have the group of people coming to Alibaba, so that's Alibaba's job. So they're gonna attract a lot of people coming to Alibaba to visit Alibaba.com. And then our job as a seller, we try to attract them from the Alibaba visitors to let them visit our shops. Once they came to our shop, and then they become a unique visitors. And among those visitors, we want some of them to pay cash, to pay money to us, to become our real clients. So that becomes conversion rates and some heads up on Alibaba, because it's e-commerce, conversion rate usually it's about 10% or even lower. So you're gonna have that concept in there. So if you lost the first few visitors, don't be upset, because it's normal, because e-commerce, the basic number is huge. So even like a few percentage, it's that can help you make a lot of money. Okay. So conversion rate is also important. And also we're going to consider like average transaction value. So, okay, we have one client coming in and so what kind of size of order he's going to make. So buying one thing and buying a container of things is quite different. So that's why we think 2B business is what we're looking at, because this is the beauty of trading. We don't sell to individual customers. So we reduce a lot of like a time and energy of solving like a very small individual problems. We only solve big problems, and then we convert our clients, and then they're gonna buy from us by bulk. And also, once they buy bulk and they're happy with our clients and service, they're gonna come back and then come back again and again. So that makes the cost of gaining clients super, super low. So that's average transaction value. And we also, because it's 2B business, and we're going to consider like we're going to serve our clients well and keep them, because once you lose the clients, gaining them again, there's a cost. So keeping them is a relatively very low cost. And the repurchase rate, that's what I just said. And if you can keep that number high, that will be a super great thing. And because for most of traders, successful traders in China, I think it's worldwide. And if you're doing B2B business, there's a very high percentage, usually maybe about 50%. Uh, the whole GMV is generated by returned clients. And then with all that combined together, that's our final word, the GMV, so gross merchandise volume. So that's why we call it GMV. And then so this is more like a professionalized concept and formula of how we run this business, and then keep this concept in here too. Okay. Okay. With all that, having a shopping mall and having this formula in our heads, we know what we're aiming at and where we want to go with Alibaba. Okay. So shop management, when we had all the two concepts in mind, and we're gonna try to simplify the concepts. Otherwise, there are too many things. So this is what I created for my shop and my team. So I'm gonna share this with you guys. So I think they're very helpful. So first of all, we consider shop and the products. That's very easy to understand. So you're going to build the shop, and you're going to put the products, choose and pick, and do the showcase and the listing and everything. So those are more about like a fundamental construction. We consider it like a construction work, right? So once the shop is built, so you don't have to change it every day. So you just change it when it's needed. And also for products, at the beginning you upload, and also you put all the listings, and in the future you just have to just upgrade, right? Update or upgrade and change a few things. You don't have to do completely from the scratch. So those is one important section of Alibaba and other shops, any shops. And also marketing. Like I said, we're going to analyze the clients. We know the market trends and our clients likes and don't likes. And then also we're going to let the people know we're doing the business, and we're going to invite them to come to our shops. So basically we want more people to know about us and our products. Marketing and leads and opportunities. So once people know our name, our brands, our products, and so we want them to come to see us and try our products and to become more interested in our business and all the things. So leads and opportunities about clients, and data and info. So because we're in the tech world, and now I think it's already past internet generation, because it's everywhere. So data and info is super important. So otherwise we don't know if we're doing things right or wrong. So we're gonna look at the data of our selling things, our product, and everything is up. You can use the data and also info. So some business you can make money. It's just because you got the info one step ahead of your competitors, especially on e-commerce. It's a relatively fast pace. If you know something, some product that sells well, and then just a little bit earlier than other people, and then maybe that's why you made the money. Okay. So info is also important. And also same thing. If you get the info from like Alibaba.com, you know like they have a promotion or have something. If you know this, and then you can save some money as well. But if you don't know, probably you don't. So data and info, and in the end, management. Well, when you run the shop, even at the shopping mall, that you're gonna think of the management of your products, and most importantly, your money. So where do you keep your money, and how you want to spend the money, and how to do the transactions, and also people. And you have a several salesperson, how to let them compete against each other, how to motivate them, and how to see their results, and how to let them know how they're doing, and also manage your products. So you're going to look at the warehouse if you have using stock products, and also you're going to manage the process of the lead time, like manufacturing and also shipping and everything. That's all about management. So all in all, we believe just to run a good shop doesn't mean online or offline. Just run the shop. You're going to look at the 5 sections. That's super important. And once at this point you're clear and know what I'm saying, and then so we're going to move on to Alibaba shops. So still, this is a shop. Alibaba is just a type of shops, right? Okay, have this concept in mind. Let's keep going. So my Alibaba backend. But what is called a backend? If you are familiar with internet, like a website, so there's always front end and the back end. So for take Alibaba, for example. So if you go to Alibaba.com, I assume everyone knows how to log into Alibaba, and you know where to go to see Alibaba website. So before you log in, or you, doesn't matter you log in or not, but if you go to Alibaba, if you see this, so that means the front end. So front end is like a front shop, like you're showing to the clients, to the visitors, to the people you want them to see you, right? So that's all about functions and pictures and like we call it user interactions and other things. So for Alibaba, their clients, they're gonna come here and try to find the products they're interested, and they try to find the things they need to buy. So that's front end for clients, potential buyers. Okay, but as seller, we should use this. Well, that will be another concept and experience I'm going to share in future webinars. But more importantly, as a seller, we're going to use this backend. And the backend looks like this. If some of you haven't had like an Alibaba shop, so this is what backend looks like. There are a few things in the menu on the left. So you get a few things, and there are many contents here showing like numbers and all the details. So let's take a look at all the menu bars and all the things. A home, messages, requests for quotation, orders, products, store growth, analytics, marketing, promotions, funds. Well, each words, I'm pretty sure you know what it represents, and you can figure it out. You can just guess what this section is all about. And then today, for the rest of today's section, we're gonna let you understand what it does and what it's for. So usually at the very beginning when I started Alibaba, what makes me really frustrated was when I log into Alibaba, when I see Alibaba's backend, which is also called My Alibaba here. Okay, so sometimes when you say My Alibaba, it means here. So when I see My Alibaba, I was very frustrated because there are so many things. The older version is more complicated than this version. Many things in there. When I'm clicking, I don't know what it's about. The word itself, I know it, but when I click it and all the information showing up, they're so overwhelming, too many things. But today, the two good news for you guys. Number one, good news is Alibaba has updated all those things just to simplify the user interaction to make it simpler. So now it's only actually 11, but actually 10 functions here. And I'm going to show you how to look at them and how to use them. And the second one is I will use my knowledge and to give you some tricks about how to memorize and how to understand those from a different perspective to make it easier to use. So I know, I'm pretty sure, and I have went through this. I've gone through this. Is that when the frustration is there, we are not so willingly to play around with our Alibaba shop, and then prevented us from getting more businesses. Okay, so uh, knowing and understanding this is important. Okay, with the function, also I want to give you some another advice here is that you're going to consider what kind of role you want to play for your future Alibaba business. If you are the owner and the boss and you do not have a lot of time to run the shop and run the my Alibaba backend by yourself, that's fine because now I don't have a lot of time to play with websites either. So I hire people, I have my staff to do this. But as a boss and owner, you must understand what these represents, okay? And also you must frequently or once in a while to check the data and the information of all those things, even though you don't have to run it by yourself, okay? But if you're not like this spot, you say, hey, I have enough time and I want to learn this. And if you are that kind of type of owner or business person, and then I suggest you must understand every single thing on my Alibaba. Otherwise, you're not qualified as calling yourself a good online e-commerce seller. Okay. So, all right. Now let's keep going. When we look at those things, except home button. Okay. Forget about home button, just the rest of them. Look at them. You know what it represents for. You might figure out what they are. So can you do this with me with a little homework just to recall what I just mentioned about running a shop? What's important? There are five things. Okay, think with me. Okay, number one, shop and products, right? That's one category. What other fours? Okay, so you can think. Well, I'm sure showing you one by one. Marketing, okay, should be there. And also, what else? Leads and opportunities, right? And the data. So let me data and info management. There are five sections and five things for running a good shop. And here with Alibaba backend buttons on your left, can you pick and choose and categorize them and put which one belongs to which? I'll give you like a few seconds to think of this because interaction with us is going to help you understand a little bit better and help you to memorize things. I'll give you a few seconds. All right, so we're gonna keep going. I hope um, you have done what I just said. All right, so now let's do it together. So shop and products. What's in there that you think should belong to shops and products? Again, is it means like decorations, product listings, and all the things from here. Which one's gonna be like that? products and store, right? Simple, easy. Okay. And the next, marketing. So marketing and the promotions should be marketing, right? It's very obvious. Leads and opportunities, messages, and a request for quotation. Okay. I just realized maybe some of you, if you're not familiar with Alibaba, probably request for quotation, you don't quite understand what it is because just by its words, it's still confusing. So request for quotation, there's a page on Alibaba. There are clients, they can just go there and type in what they're looking at or what they want, and then they can just, for example, if I'm a purchaser, I want to buy some like swimming goggles. And the first thing usually what I would do is I go to Alibaba.com and then go search for swimming goggles. But either I think it takes me too much time, or I don't quite like to look at the long list of suppliers. I would rather to have some suppliers who's interested and who's capable of offering the product that I'm looking at. For some clients, for some clients, when they look at some very specific item, so they don't think they can find a supplier easily there, so they will leave a RFQ. We call it request for quotation, RFQ. So what I would do as a buyer, I would just say, hey, I'm looking for 5,000 swimming goggles for men, and the descriptions about all the specifics. We're gonna say, okay, what kind of lenses I want, and then my budget is like what, and then I want it to ship to where, and I want the lead time to be like how many days or how many weeks. And then there are a few things I don't want to on the goggles, and a few things I'm flexible and blah blah blah. And then I want the certificates, certain certificates that you must have, and all this things. So they would think it saves some time for both people. So that's RFQ. Okay. Now next, data and info. What's in there for that? Growth and analytics. See, growth, you might be confused. Then why growth is in there? Because growth, it's always based on data. And also new information might help you with your growth too. Analytics, okay, obvious. Next, management. What's going to be in management? Orders and the funds, right? Once people decided, they paid the money, and then they get an order closed, and then they pay their initial payments, that becomes an order. And then you're going to manage that. Also, funds, of course, you're going to manage your money. So 5 sections, 5 categories of the business. So once you're here, you know there are 2 sections for each category, or 2 buttons for each one of them. Then you'll know what to look at whenever you go to Alibaba.com. Okay, so you can take a screen share. I can share my slides later, but you're more than welcome to take a picture of this to help you understand the frame of the concepts in Alibaba.com. Okay, so now we talked about the concept and things. So we're gonna walk you through and see the details of my Alibaba.com. And first of all, you're gonna log into Alibaba, or you're gonna sign up Alibaba.com. So you haven't done this yet. So this is very easy. So once you click sign in, I'm gonna share the screen of the website. Okay. Okay, screen, just a second. Here. Okay. So now you should be able to see so my browser. So this is Alibaba.com, right? And then so this is what we call it, the whole thing here, the front end, right? Now you can see you're seeing this web page as a buyer. Okay. Now what we want to do today, we're gonna talk about my Alibaba. So you just put your mouse here, then it's gonna show you and here is about something about logging. So once you log into your account successfully, and it's gonna keep you logged in. So next time you're gonna go back in, you don't have to put in the password or log in again until you change your IP location or you use a new browser or new laptop, a new computer. And so once we call it internet environment is changed, they might ask you to log in again. Sometimes they might request you with like a verification code or your password and sort of things. So that you can keep in mind. And okay, that's about logging. So you just click login and woohoo, we're in my Alibaba. This is a test account, so just don't don't think of our number is crazy. So this is test account. Okay, so test account here. And once we log in, you just, if you're with me, you see automatically you're staying at home section here. And um, and here, so home, why we didn't cover home in our slides, because home is more like a dashboard. You can consider like that. So once you log in, everything's here. They want you to show, but this is just like a highly summarized information about your shop's status. Look, if you look at this, so number one is going to be search impressions, all about the data and numbers of like the performance of your shop, right? Things, and just to give you a quick idea. And also, you see there are some notifications about, okay, hey, so you have like inquiries you haven't read yet. Okay, there are orders you need to confirm. And well, so important information they're gonna list here. So once you click the view details, they would just like jump directly to the specific page, which we can also go to by clicking those buttons. Okay, so you just click and then I'm going to take you to the pages. For example, here, inquiries, they tell you, hey, there are inquiries you haven't answered yet, you haven't replied yet. See? And there's some like important inquiries that because they're going to calculate the response time rate. So they're going to do this like a counter timing, like a countdown thing. Okay, let's go back to home. So, all right. And also like the balance of your ads, of your KWA, which stands for keyword advertisements. So your ads also, and your store quality, like your star ratings. And also here, you click this, you can go to your your growth part. See, that's going to tell you. We're going to cover this later. So we're going to go back to home. So there are some, you can consider this dashboard and a kind of like a shortcut to where you want to go to. That's important. Same thing here. Okay. Account manager kind of things. All right. Another thing I want to mention here is something new because Alibaba is now this is an updated version. If your screen or your backend looks a little bit different, don't worry. So maybe in your specific regions, it's going to be updated soon or later. And then and also some people ask, is it able to switch back to the old version? I think the answer is no. So you're going to stick with the latest version. Okay. And another thing mentioned is here, this button, that's about the AI using artificial intelligence. Alibaba is using, I know they are doing very, very heavily on developing AI. Alibaba, it's not only about Alibaba.com. Alibaba has so many giant companies. And then so one of them is doing all the research and database about AI, and Alibaba.com, so about this trading websites. So they have developed and used a new technique so to help you. For example, so there are a lot of concepts about this. I'm going to mention this in the later sections, but just brief intro about AI is going to help you to quickly reply to your clients, and you can set some like a presetted messages, and so save you some time of answering the same questions again and again. And also it's going to help you to analyze your shop's health, and they're going to tell you what's wrong with your shop right now and what improvement you can do. So just consider it as one of your steps, seriously. So actually our shops, we're using AI. Okay. All right. Yeah, before we go, uh, I also for AI, there are still many tiny little things. Sometimes they're not perfect, but my suggestion is don't look down on them. Just don't think, okay, see, it's not AI, it's a stupid tool. Don't think that way because AI improves very fast. They might be wrong today, but they might fix their answer tomorrow. So just keep updated and try to use AI, not just for Alibaba, for everything. Okay. No. Now let's go with all the little sections. So messages, once we click on that, you see, and you see the subsections, inquiries, contacts, settings. Let's see inquiries. Oh, no, let's do it this way. So you just click on messages and automatically on messages. Automatically, those are we call like a TM. So it's like you can consider it as instant message. So there are people texting you and asking about the things, so you can answer them back. This is just like a chatting tool, okay? And well, one thing I want to mention, don't be frustrated if you see, hey, I don't know how to run this, I don't know how to do this. Each section here I mentioned, we have a webinar, we have several webinars, and then talking about how to do this in details, like how you talk to them and how you like play with the buttons here and here. Why is this and why is that and what is this for? So all the detailed functions, there are other webinars. Okay, okay. So that's messages and inquiries. Inquiries is more like we call it more like a formal interest. And so they're gonna send you an inquiry, you're gonna see, and they tell you this is product we want, and tell me the price and details and things. So inquiries and the messages, they are both very important, like a quicker leads from the clients. Okay. And the context is, you can consider this as a management tool, like a CRM system, a simpler CRM system for your all the clients. So they're gonna, once you talk with them or once they send you inquiries, all the things, they will be automatically added here. So you can do a few functions, like to highlight them or to know where they come from, to do background check and all the things. It's a simpler version, but yeah, it's for that. And the settings, that's basically there are some few functions, like you want to change the if you want to turn on AI and you want to set the like office hours, call it similar things like call settings, and you want to assign those things clients to different salespersons, and then you're going to set a reminder to let them to follow up and all the things, and even you can link up to your WhatsApp, and also so some harassment you can put them into a block list and kind of things. So very simple, right? So that's all about messages, lead. It's all about leads, communication. And the RFQ, when you click on this button, you see that there you can have a score here, and it tells you the benefits that basically about what advantage you can use right now. And the score is based on your performance of how you use RFQ to get clients. And what it looks like is usually if you go to the market, you see there are every day there are tons of people, depends on your industry, there are tons of people, they're updating, they're listing all the requirements of like purchasing. They tell you what, I see, I want 100 pieces of this and from what countries, and all the information, like each slide, and each part is here. It's about the business chance. If you see, what we do is we're going to do this thoroughly. They give you, different country might be different, so they give you free RFQ opportunities every month. So it's considered like a token. So you're going to use token to apply for the quote. And when the quote is usually for our shop, we use this to extreme. Our score is more than 100. We keep it above 100. So it's a very high score because we use up all our token and we have to buy tokens because we do this very actively. And doing this is basically it's a very good attitude of doing business. It's already there and you don't even come here and check. So how can you say you're a qualified active seller, right? Okay. And then once you click the quotes, you can see them here and see the quotes you sent already. So they will tell you, okay, so what time and what kind of quotation you gave them, all the things, history. But here you see the number, so I just mentioned. So Alibaba system will give you free tokens and some like privileges based on your score that you get. So here, that's a basic rule, and it tell you how you can get a higher score. Okay, that's pretty easy to understand. If you don't understand, you can click getting tips. There are some tutorials to help you understand. And another trick. So on Alibaba website, if you see the question mark, and that means there's kind of like a further explanation of the concept here, like this. Okay. Also here, what does this means, and all the things. Okay. All right. And orders, that's all about means people already closed the deal and means they paid the initial payments and they paid, so it becomes an order. Sometimes if you have like a ready to sell kind of already stock products you have, I don't know if your country have that, but if you have that, so the clients would just automatically, they will by themselves, they would place an order and then they want you to confirm. And then once you confirm the price, and then they become active order. So all the orders are going to be here. To be honest, sometimes when we do business, there are clients, they want to return, they want to like, there are very few of them, but it still happens. It's also here. So you're going to refund, you're going to do all the dispute and all the kind of things. So it's all about order involvements. Very easy. Shipping, for some like standardized products, you can even set a platform for the shipping, like how to calculate shipping and all the things. But if you know your products well and you have done this before, this is very easy setting. Okay, let's go back. Uh, let me, oh, my browser is blocked here. Okay, let's go this way. All right. Okay. So credit limits, that it doesn't affect many of you outside of China. So if you have this, you can take a look, but I'm gonna skip this part. Doesn't involve you much. And my partner is your local partners with Alibaba for like for many services like shipping for instance. So orders, it's all about like dealing with your orders. Okay. And the products. And the products, it's about all your listing, how you edit your products and how to create a new product, post your things and all the things, all the listed ones is here. And there are all the information about it, very straightforward. And the product growth, it's gonna, because we are doing online, this is some important concept to keep in mind. We're gonna teach you tricks in further webinars, but not today. So for the products quality, like the listing quality, is gonna affect the natural traffic, organic traffic, and the other benefits. So what we encourage people to do is you better have a higher score of each listing and have a better quality of your shops, for both for the Alibaba system and to give you more advantages, and also for your clients to think you are a quality seller. Okay, so several levels. So basic products, and then if you can do it better, then potential products, top products, super products. The higher you go with your products, the more advantage you get. So the ultimate goal is to have all of your products, if possible, or at least as high as possible, to get all of them or most of them here, but relatively here is relatively easy here because it's a test account. This is too low. If you're my employee, I would think I will fire you if you just keep all my products here. Okay. So, okay, enough said here. Tools. Just go back quickly. And also this is like a relatively new function. So there are some listings of more benefits for industrial trending. That means like Alibaba system knows all the data. They know what products that has a better market right now or it has urgent needs. So once you know that, you can put your products here so you can get a more profit and benefits. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna doing this. Go back to tools. Tools. So once you create the listing or do that, you can have a lot of images and videos uploaded to the server. And here and other tools that you can use here, it says. And also for catalog, you can upload your catalog. You can create your catalog here. So with AI, automatically when clients ask you, it happens a lot. They will say, hey, do you have a catalog? And then the system will offer you the catalog. It's like a pre-generated catalog to them. So they can get a catalog before you log back to your account. So that's very neat. So a lot of tools to explore. And the store, that happens at the very beginning. So you're gonna set the it's like a decoration. It's like a remodeling and the decoration of your real shop and company profiles and informations. So you're gonna put as detailed as possible, and so people can find you. And if you're a qualified seller, and the certifications and the company introduction, just fill out all the things. So let your visitors know that you're a big company, know that you're trustworthy. Okay, so that's just like doing homework. Okay, do it thoroughly. And the growth is about like star ranking. This is not about the client's ranking. This is about the store quality. And then it's based on those things. It's going to tell you about the score of each section. It will take the lowest score as your final score. So it doesn't mean you have a 4 stars, 5 stars of 3 sections, but the other ones is 0, and then your store is 0. Okay, so it takes the lowest one. And then this is super important for e-commerce because people always trust like a higher scored, higher stars shops. And if you don't know how to do this, there are like a learning centers telling you what they are about and how to do it. And we also have like webinars to share about the tricks and the things to do. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, so analytics also it's about numbers. You can always monitor your results, industrial average and leaders. So what I want you guys to look at is like you always know your place, know where you are, and know just keep close enough to average. And your final goal is gonna be above average. So that's the goal about all the different numbers like page views, search impressions, visitor. So this is something worth like a listen to a webinar. So details will be in webinar too, because it has a lot of information. So about the markets, you're gonna know how the products is performing in the market and what's the trend products. You can use the market analyzer and the visitor analyzer. You know where they are from and a percentage of like a their region, and so based on this you can do a lot of things to improve your shops and business. Product analyzer know the performance of your products of the shop, and you can do a lot of things to make it better. Keywords, that's all about using the KWA, the keywords. So the data is here, and also some like hints and suggestions you can find in here. So that's all about analyzing. And the marketing here on Alibaba specifically is about how to using ads to get a better promotion and better place on the listings. So keyword ads, premium sponsored ads, sponsored brands, they are all different kinds of ads. We're going to cover that in further webinars. Okay. But just quickly, like keyword mods is almost a must for today's e-commerce. And those are more advanced ads. And for those like better, bigger businesses and the more serious players. Okay, we're gonna cover that in the future. Okay, so those are the tools and your marketing campaign and also the things about marketing. Promotions and about the showcases, that's all about some like like a Google and where you place when people look for something, search for something, where you want to show which place that you show your products and the things, and just to make it simple, consider this as some benefits for you to show your products before your competitors. So if you some people when they start a shop, they forget to use the showcase, so left it blank. That's not qualified. I want people to definitely use everything, every tool you have, because those are there. It's going to get you benefits of exposure. So traffic and exposure, that's the very beginning of our e-commerce. And the tips in today's world, if you have a videos, and the people tend to see videos better than pictures, right? So videos getting big and important. And once in a while, Alibaba is going to have some like online events. Once you apply, you join the events, they give you extra traffic. So traffic means potential buyer, right? So whenever you're qualified, because some events are based on the month, they have special events, sometimes based on your industry. So just keep an eye on this. So that's why I say information is also important. And the funds, you can always check your accounts, what it's connected to, and you can withdraw money and also many things, the payments details, you're going to check those things and the withdrawals, the records of things and the fees generated by withdrawing or transactions and invoice. That's pretty much about the business. Still, basically, they are all in the categories. I showed you the 5 categories. So it's about Alibaba shop. Okay, very quickly. Okay, I think the time is up. Let's quickly go over the tip part. Screen shares. Okay, so once you went through all the functions and buttons and things of Alibaba, there are some tips I want you guys to know. Number one, you better try out each section or each button if possible. So you definitely have to log in. I know there are many people they paid for Alibaba for their membership, but they barely log in. I think that's pretty sad. Okay, try out at least try out once, you know what they are, what they're talking about. And also try to log in daily as possible, or at least a few days. Well, if you're a serious businessman or you're running the shop by yourself, you definitely have to log in daily. There are a lot of information there. And another thing I highly suggest you to download the Alibaba app, seller app. So messages you get from your clients, you can instantly get their reply. So you can answer them, talk to them immediately. So that would get you a lot of chances. Otherwise, they would turn to your competitors. Embrace AI. Yeah, I already mentioned this. Just welcome them. It doesn't mean you have to be an expert right now. Doesn't mean AI is perfect. Doesn't mean it does everything for you right now. But definitely we don't we should welcome them. We try to start using, even though for smallest, the simplest functions. And I was honored to be one of their AI tool tester for Alibaba.com. So I know they use a lot of very experienced seller, and so their AI is based on their technology plus some experienced knowledge from experts. So we are one of them. So for example, they're gonna ask us to do homework. So we're gonna fill out the forms to tell them, well, once clients say this and how we do this, and once clients have this issue, how we solve the problem. So we have our knowledge behind the AI as well, even though we only contribute a little bit, but consider the whole thing is pretty incredible. Okay. And don't forget to get some help. So in the process, on each page, if you see a button like this, you can click on it and then it will show up this. So you type in your questions, simple ones, they might answer you by AI, but like when you switch to a real representative, you can ask them for anything you're not sure about the Alibaba uh, execution, about those functions. They probably they are not telling you about how to do a good business, but they can tell you how to use Alibaba better. Okay. And in the very end, so there are other few things. I think there are good values for you guys. One is about using Alibaba camping operation service. It depends. Some countries I heard they have this, some don't. So just ask them, okay? If they have this, if you don't have time, if you don't have staff for doing this, see if they have this service that you can use. So you can set up your shop faster, okay? Easy to start with. And also, account manager. I made this mistake at the beginning, but I don't want to make the mistake again. I don't want you guys to make a mistake again. Account manager, consider them as a very super powerful resource. They are not just a salesperson. At the beginning, I treat them as a salesperson. So when they call me, they want to visit my office. I said, no, I'm not here. I'm busy. Don't come. But later I found I missed a lot of things because when they come to your office or when you call them or you see them, you can tell them everything. So they would not think, hey, that's too much to ask. They will always answer your questions. Even if there are questions they are not able to answer, they will figure out a way to find out the answers for you. For example, even if you have questions about, okay, so about the business, about the very detailed things about running business, it's not even a Alibaba.com question, but they are still happy to help you to find maybe other clients they serve. They have solved the problem. They might consider them and ask them, consult them about the solutions, and they will offer you the same solution. So there are a lot of things they can do. And to be honest, we had some leads, business opportunities from account manager, our account manager, because they know we're doing this and they have another client who's not doing construction and doing the houses, but they had a client who's interested in getting that. So they introduced the business. You never know. And Alibaba seminars, even though today I still go to webinars by other Alibaba coach and business because everyone has their own ways of doing business and their own thoughts and insights, very good value. So sometimes one sentence they say might save you like a few months or might save you some money. Like today, I don't have time to show the real cases. It happened to us. Okay, so final suggestion for using Alibaba more than just a place to sell things. It's community. It's a super big resource place. Okay, so that's all my content for today, and then that's my WeChat and WhatsApp if you want to add me for anything. Okay, I think it's here. Do we have time for questions? Oh, let me read those. Oh, I see some questions there here. Okay. Uh, all right. I see some questions here. Let me answer them quickly. So, how do we know more about the upcoming seminars? Your account manager, and even here today, Jeffrey is going to give you a calendar with the future webinars and with topics what we're going to cover here. I think they're going to share this here somewhere or later personally. And the assistant. Okay. The recording, you're gonna ask your account manager. But I can share the slides later. Assistance in the chat. Um, improve, showcase how improve showcasing the account to increase more. Uh, Showcase usually, I mean here, so we, in China here, showcase there are set numbers of showcase that comes with our membership. I think which could be different in different region and also in different packages. You can ask your account manager for those product, their product kind of thing. Let me see. All right, so any more questions here? Oh, here, let's see Q&A. The issue is using platform every day, not only listing. The issue is using platform every day, not only listing. Yeah, the platform is about you manage your business and listing. Usually, what we do is like we have at the very beginning of your shop. So oh yeah. So at the very beginning of the shop, we spend some time to do all the listings for our products. And in the future, so once all the listings there already, so we're gonna focus more on how to acquire clients, how to get traffic, and how to get more visitors. So we look at the numbers and data of like those performance of the shop. And only when we see there's issue or we see the opportunity to improve our products in order to finally to improve the visitors, the number of the visitors, and then we update the listings. So listings is not something necessary to do every day. However, some people, more advanced players, they know that if they constantly do new listings, they might potentially generate some benefits. So this is not published knowledge, but this is some based on experience. So some advanced players, they would do this too, to in order to get some maybe some more benefits. All the benefits I'm here saying is about like getting getting clients exposure. Okay, so we're gonna wait a little bit more just to see if any other questions. If there's no more question later, then we're gonna call it a day. Okay, let's see another question. Yes, some companies, if you're new and then you don't have the tools to manage your customers, and then Alibaba, I said they have like a that's the simpler tool to manage your clients, but not with tons of detailed functions. So if you have other like a SaaS system or CRM system for account for customer management, and you can manage them there. And sometimes some people even use Excel forms, Excel sheets to manage their clients. That's also fine, but it just takes some work to make the connection of the data. Yes, there are a lot more tools. And in mainland China, Alibaba has a separate tool, which is paid tool, a SaaS system, and we're using them too. So that's a different thing. Yeah. Right. Just to add more things to that question. Yes, Alibaba is more about getting leads and then helping you to connect with the clients and make the whole process easier and then build trust between sellers and the buyers. So CRM system that usually more advanced system for CRM is by some SaaS companies. Yeah, if your company already have the tool, you can use that. Oh, okay, got a new message. How to understand if an RFQ or message is not a scam or legit? Okay, that's a very good question. We're gonna have a very special webinar for RFQ. There are tools and experience and many tricks about how to use RFQ. It's not just one sentence I can tell you how to identify a scam or legit. But there are several ways to do it. So we're going to cover that in that section. We're going to cover that in that specific webinar. Yeah. But it's not an easy question to answer with few sentences here. Yeah, well, but I can give you a few suggestions. There are some very signals in the RFQ that you can tell. Like sometimes it's too simple and it's very newly registered and also with no labels and some copied descriptions and all those little things we're going to analyze together with all the elements and then we decide if it's a scam or not. And usually we start with more legit ones that we also going to cover how we identify the more legit ones and then we apply for that one first, and then you can not 100% to decide a scam or not, but we can very likely to avoid that. And we have another training about this. Oh yeah. And also, for some scams, if the Alibaba system, they have hundreds of people for the tech team. So once if by technique they know there's scams and things, they will block the user, the clients. It happened before too. Okay. So Jeffrey, is that all for today?
Yeah, yes, sure. Thanks,
Okay.
thanks Link's time and
Yeah.
everyone to check the information I sent in the chat box, and we will let the account manager send the webinar in next week as soon as possible. And also, if you have any question about our new tool, Smart Assistant, you can scan the QR code I sent above to join the WhatsApp group and chat with our official team, okay?
Cool. Okay. Thank you all, and you're very welcome. And hope to see you next time. Bye bye.
Thanks for joining, and you will see the survey after you leave the webinar, and feel free to check the survey and leave us suggestions, and we hope to see you next week.
Okay. Bye.